Well, hello there, beautiful people. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Come on in. You're welcome. My name is Lara Akinola, and I'm your hostess with the mostest. I trust that you are doing well. On this channel, we are passionate about personal development, and we look at our personal development holistically, including health, fitness, love life, beauty, fashion, our faith. So if this sounds like something that interests you, click that subscribe button and join our tribe. So in the last videos, or in the last 3 videos, we have been looking at the subject of self-awareness, because self-awareness, we've defined what it is in the previous videos. We've defined what it is. We've looked at some benefits of self-awareness. We've looked at some of the things that could pose a hindrance to enhancing our self-awareness. And in this video, we are going to round up that topic by looking at some of the things that I believe are the practical steps that we can take to develop or to enhance our self-awareness. So as usual, I have my notes here. So if I'm looking down, that is what I'm looking at. I'm going to be referring to my notes. And I recommend that you take your pen and paper as well and take down some notes, because I believe these are going to add value to you too. So let's get into it. So some of the practical steps that we can take to enhance our self-awareness. The first one is journaling. When I say the first one, it's the first one on my list, okay? It's not in any particular order. It's not like the first thing that you have to do. It's just the first thing on my list is journaling. Now, journaling is something that is so simple, but is so powerful. It's so simple and has been simplified to the point that it's almost underrated, almost underestimated. But honestly, when you journal, particularly I like to do mine at the end of the day, when I'm reflecting on my day, I like to journal. I like to write things down then, or sometimes first thing in the morning as well, to capture my thoughts, or to capture my aspirations, my expectations, and things like that, especially when praying or after praying or when I'm meditating. We'll get into that. I think I'm ahead of myself a little bit here. But generally, what I'm trying to say is that journaling is very, very powerful. It's a powerful tool that will help to enhance your self-awareness, because what happens is that it helps you to capture your thoughts and your actions and your emotions, and it will help to give you an insight about your behavior to certain things. So when you write things down, you have reflected on how you behave, you reflect on your thoughts, you reflect on your actions to some certain events, and then you write down how you felt about it, or how you respond to it, or how you behaved towards it. It will help you to capture your thought pattern towards that thing. And when you read it back, and herein lies the power, when you read it back another time, when you read your journal back, you can recognize some recurring themes perhaps, or some things that you need to strengthen, some things that you do that you need to continue to do. So the way you behaved in a particular circumstance, that oh yeah, you think that this is good and you need to strengthen that, or some things that you said that you felt that given the circumstance another time, you perhaps would respond differently. So that's one of the benefits of journaling. Like, it just helps you to capture your thought pattern. It helps you to recognize some recurring themes that you need to adapt, that you need to change. It helps you to be aware of those things. So that's one of the powers, that's one of the benefits of journaling. So the second thing on my list that I think is a practical step that you can take to enhance your self-awareness is to seek an honest feedback. Now, that is one of the most difficult things to do, especially when you actively go to people and ask for a feedback. We all know that not everybody is disciplined enough to know how to give constructive criticism. You know, it's like you have given them an opportunity to attack you. It's like you've given them an opportunity to be mean and nasty to you. So it's a very vulnerable thing to do. It's a very vulnerable position when you go to a person to say, you know, give me an honest feedback. I think I mentioned this in one of my videos as well, under this subject about getting 360 degrees feedback. It's very, very important. But it's a vulnerable thing to do, and because of some minority of people, I would say, in my own experience, that would be mean to you, that would give you inflammatory, that will be inflammatory in the way they give their feedback. It makes you feel, I don't want to do this. However, there are lots of people, I'm sure, in your circle that you can approach, and they are measured, they are disciplined, they are mature, and they can give you an honest feedback, but not in an inflammatory way. Not in an inflammatory way. They will be wise about the way they give you the feedback, because they will honor the fact that you've come to them, you've respected them enough to ask for feedback for yourself, and they will respect you back in return. And they recognize it's a vulnerable position that you have deliberately put yourself in, and it's a vulnerable position that you have deliberately put yourself in. But don't shy away from doing it because of the few people that would not that would not be able to handle it, or not know how to handle it appropriately, and miss out on the other people that would be able to give you an honest feedback, which would be helpful to you. Because when you get an honest feedback, it's an opportunity for you to go away then and reflect on those, and see how you can make amendments, and see how you can make adjustments, you know, as it is necessary. I'm actually interested, what about you? How have you been approached to give a feedback before to people, or have you given feedback to people before? And if you have, let me know in the comment section below. How have you been able to do that, especially when the feedback that you've had to give was not very flattering to the person? How have you handled that? How have you managed that? I would like to know in the comment section below. And also, conversely, have you received a feedback that is not really not complimentary towards you either, and somebody has given you feedback in an inflammatory way or in a negative way that affected you emotionally? How did you handle that? I'm interested to know. Comment in the comment section below so that we can all learn together, you know, from each other's experiences. I know I have given feedback before where I could have done a little bit better in the way that I've given it, and I have received feedback from other people before that made me feel like maybe I shouldn't have asked. Even actually this time I did not even ask. It was an unsolicited. I didn't even solicit for it. The person just felt that they needed to come and tell me how they felt about this thing, and they did not hold back, without being mindful of how their words affect me. So it was a hard knock, you know. I went away. I wasn't happy, but I was able to reflect on the things that they said to me, and was able to make adjustments. So what about you? Listen, I'm dwelling on this because it's really, really, really important. It's an important aspect of our personal development and growth. If you're going to grow, if you're going to develop, you have to care about other people's perspective. Not care to the point that it affects you negatively, but care to the point that care enough to make amendments for your own growth, not to please them, but for your own growth, for your own development. You have to care, you have to listen, and you have to try and make amendments, okay, where necessary. So that's that about that, seeking an honest feedback. Another practical thing I think that we can do is practice mindful observation. Mindful observation is important. Oh my goodness, it is very, very important to be mindful of yourself I mean, it's one thing people are mindful of you, observing you. You need to cultivate the habit of observing your own self as well, your reaction to different situations in different environments. Take mental notes of the things you say, how you feel, how you think, how you respond in different scenarios. Especially, I always say that, especially the ones that are not very pleasant. Take mental notes of your response, or how you respond, how you react. Sometimes we all of us, there is nobody that is exempted from this. We are impulsive in the way that we react, and we sometimes, because if you yield to the dictates of your impulse in a negative or a heated environment, it doesn't always yield a good result. It doesn't always paint you in the best light. So practice mindful observation. Cultivate a habit of mindful observation. I could not stress it enough. How you respond in different environments, because when you react impulsively, we all do it without knowing why. Actually, you react, you don't even know why you lashed out the way you lashed out, or why you responded the way you responded. Even without lashing out, it could be in a measured manner, but it may not necessarily be helpful. Okay, so when you do mindful observations, it will slow you down and enable you to catch those thoughts, to catch those automatic reactions before they take over you, to be able to control those reactions before they take over you. So practicing mindful observation will really help with your self-awareness journey, and ultimately your self-development, your personal development. Okay, so the next thing on my list is identify your core values. What are your core values? What are your non-negotiables that you are not going to compromise on no matter what? For example, integrity, excellence in the things that you do, you produce, especially at work, or compassion, being able to be compassionate, empathy. I mean, the list goes on and on, but you know what your own is. Late coming, Lord have mercy. Oh my God, late coming. Yes, some things trigger you. Some things just trigger you. Yeah. So what are your own non-negotiables? What are the things that are not debatable, that they just are what they are? And when you identify these things, for the most part, people around you will be able to respect those things as your boundaries, because number one, you have identified those things to yourselves, and it helps you to understand why you behave the way you behave. It helps you to know why you do the things you do. Okay, because you know that some things are just they're your core values, and you need to be true to those. You yourself you need to be true to those. You cannot vacillate. Okay, you cannot be compassionate this time and not be compassionate another time. It's something that people know about you, that person she doesn't like coming late. She doesn't like it when people come late, or she has integrity. Okay, if she says something, she means it. And if she says something and she's not able to deliver at the time she said she would deliver, she would immediately let the people know why she couldn't and negotiate another time. Okay, so these are some of the things that your core values, that people know about you, and they will respect those. Those are your boundaries. Okay, those form part of your boundaries, and you yourself will have self-respect for yourself, and people around you that you interact with will respect those boundaries as well. It's important to know what your core values are, and even when a situation arises that could cause a slip, should I call it a slip, to those like integrity. For example, let's say that you have said that, I'm going to be there, I'm going to be able to deliver this on such and such date, and everybody has, or you've agreed to do something, maybe you even volunteered, and everybody has trusted you. They have agreed that, oh, she has said that she's going to do this. She has said that she will be there for us. She has said that she'll be able to deliver this to us, whatever it is. So you've given your word, but something happened that means that you're not able to do that anymore at all, or you are still able to do it, but just not at the time that you have promised that you will do it. So if you don't address that immediately, it will cause a slip to your integrity or how people see it. Because then what if you just leave people hanging, what they will believe about you is that just because you said you will do something doesn't mean that you will do it. So it helps you to be self-aware also, that, oh my goodness, I've said that I will do this thing, but I can't do it now. I need to let people know that I can't do it. And also it will also strengthen people respecting your boundaries, people respecting your core values. So, and identifying what your core values are, I mean, that is just an example. You know what your core values are, so you can just take that example and put it on every other thing that you consider as your core value, and stick to it. They are your non-negotiable. Okay, they are your non-negotiables. This is who you are. This is what you do. This is what you believe. You are able to identify the things that drive or underpin your decisions. That these are the things that drive my decisions. These are the reasons why I do the things that I do, why I am the way that I am. I'm a woman of faith, for example. I'm a Christian. I'm a believer, and everything I do, I have to remember that I cannot compromise on the principles of the Bible. So it's not like you just go out with your friends who are non-Christians, and we all have them in our lives, our colleagues from work, for example, and you lose the essence of who you are just because you are not around Christian people. You must remain who you are no matter where you are. And that is how people will respect you. That is how people will know that these are your core values, and they will respect those and they will not violate them. Okay? And the final item on my list, the final thing I thought that the practical steps that we could take to enhance our self-awareness is to monitor your self-talk. Monitor how you talk to yourself, your inner dialogue, the things that you say about yourself. For the most part, we like to say good things about people. We give compliments to other people. We are kind to other people in the way that we speak to them. But when it comes to ourselves, we say, sometimes without even knowing, we say some self-derogatory stuff to ourselves. You need to be mindful of those, your inner dialogue, okay? Pay attention to the way you speak to yourself. Pay attention to the way you speak about yourself. The Bible says that the power of life and death is on the tongue. Be careful the things that you say about yourself. This is because negative self-talk can severely limit your potential by reinforcing, it will reinforce insecurities. And it is subtle. It is subtle. You may not say bad things or profane things to yourself, but when you begin to say things, I can't do that, that's beyond me, or things like, if it's not one thing, it's another, it never rains, it pours, all of those negative stuff. Don't say that about it. What do you mean you can't do it? You can do all things through Christ that strengthens you. You can ask for grace. You can ask for help. You can learn how to do it, especially if you have to do it. Okay. Example for me is anything that is technical. It intimidates me. If I can't just click a button and it's done, anything digital, anything technical, I just shy away from it. I just give up already. But I have to tell myself, and I will tell myself that, I can't do this. I'll let some other people do it. It's one thing to delegate. It's okay to delegate for some things to some people, maybe because of time and efficiency. Okay, for time and efficiency purposes, there are things I delegate to other people. I don't want to be I don't want to be bothered with them, because I know that I can play to my strength and do other stuff. So I just let other people do those things. That's different to something that I know that I need to do, but because it's challenging, but because it's difficult, and there are some difficult stuff, then I just give up. I say I can't do it. Well, I can do it if I apply myself enough to it. I can do it. There is no such thing as if it's not one thing or it's other. What are you? What do you mean by that? If it's not one thing or the other, it means that you are expecting all of these bad things to happen to you, or saying that trust me to get it wrong. Trust me, these are all of these subtle. They're subtle. All this subtle negative self-talk, all of these subtle negative inner dialogues, things that we say to ourselves about ourselves, that reinforces our insecurities, that puts us down, and reflects in our output. It reflects in the way we relate to people. It reflects in everything that we do. And when other people now say it to us, we wonder why they're saying it to us. It's because that's what we have projected. This is what we have said. We have presented ourselves to them to say this is who we are. So it's easy for them to talk to us like that, to talk down at you, as if you can't do anything, as if you can't get things right, as if I trust you to be late, I trust you to get it wrong, because you've said that about yourself. You may not say it about yourself to them, and most of the time you say it to them, but because you've even said it to yourself, it's subtle. It will project itself. It will find a release one way or the other, and project itself to the people around you, and that is how people will see you. So it is important that you monitor your self-talk, monitor the way you speak to yourself, and your inner dialogue, and take control of your mindset. Take control of the way that you think about yourself, the way that you perceive yourself. Don't talk negatively about yourself, down to yourself. Even if you make mistakes, everybody makes mistakes. Nobody is infallible. Nobody is infallible. You will make mistakes, you learn from it, you laugh at it, and you grow. Okay? So those are my points today, and I hope that these points have been helpful to you. To recap, because we're winding this topic up now on self-awareness, we've said that what have we said? So you need to journal. Number 1, journal. Number 2, seek honest feedback. Number 3, practice mindful observations. Number 4, identify your core values. And number 5, monitor your self-talk, or your inner dialogue, the way you talk to yourself. Well, we have come to the end of this video. I hope that it has blessed you. If you have any question, please don't hesitate to leave it down in the comment section below, and engage. Leave comments in the comment section below about all of these 5 things that I've mentioned. How do you talk about yourself? Do you do unconsciously or inadvertently? Do you do like negative self-talk? Are you one of those people to say, trust me to get it wrong? And how does that make you feel? Leave a comment in the comment section below, and I will read all of the comments and get back to you. I will respond to all of them. And also, there will be some people have requested for an ebook or a PDF on this subject of self-awareness. I am going to be making that available very, very, very shortly before we go on to another topic. So if that's something that you would like also, I've put together a very short ebook on self-awareness that I believe will benefit you, that I believe will add value to your life, will add value to your self-awareness journey. If that's something that you would like to receive, also leave a comment in the comment section below. Just say ebook, please, and then I will get that to you. So thank you so much for your company today. If this video has been helpful to you, if you found any value in it, like it, share it with your other friends so that everybody else can benefit from it as well. And do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Again, this is a new channel that I'm trying to grow. The more we engage with it, the more people subscribe to it, the more we grow. So I look forward to seeing you. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Shalom.